a lot of people logging in internationally. This is awesome. So no matter where you are located, all this information about SEO is helpful to wherever you have your shop. So thank you to everybody who is logging in internationally. It's great to meet you in your shops. Okay, let's just dive right in. So I am Nicole. I am the owner of Partying with Plants on Etsy. I opened my Etsy shop in 2016. I have been teaching for Etsy U since 2019 when the program launched. So these Etsy University classes have been going on since 2019, and there's so many good topics. So if this is your first class, make sure after the class you kind of just keep an eye online to see what other classes, as there's more going to be coming throughout the year. Okay, some classes about photography, holiday tips, lots of great classes. Etsy is my full-time business. It did not start out that way. It was a side hustle, and I've kind of worked up that way. And last year was able to build a warehouse to finally move my business into. So whatever your goal and dream is, kind of start out small and kind of work up from there. It is very possible to make Etsy your full-time business. If you have any questions about something I have said during class, please use the chat. I will be watching to see what questions come up, and I'll kind of get to them as we kind of go along. Okay, so let's talk about what is SEO for Etsy and Google. So what is SEO? SEO is search engines that help people find what they are looking for on the web by scanning web pages. Etsy's vast marketplace is a unique place for all small businesses. Etsy's search is designed to match buyers with the items that they are looking for through query matching, ranking, and context-specific ranking, which is CSR technology. Okay, well, so this is what we're going to be talking about. How do customers find your shops? So why is SEO important? Online shoppers depend on search to find the items that they're looking for. So SEO best practices can help your products be found in search engines. So in a nutshell, it's just all about how you appear in the results. It's just like when you go to Google and you're typing something up, usually that first page is what people look at. You know, maybe they'll go to page 2 or 3. You want to end up on that first 1 to 3 pages of Etsy search so your shop and your listings get found. Well, how do you do that? That's what this class is all about today. Right? How to get your listings and your shop found. Okay, so some of the words that we're going to be talking about today, these are some key words. Relevancy is how useful your page or your listing is to a search. Search engines determine relevancy by looking at the content and links on your pages to decide how related they are to the search. Ranking is all about how your page appears in search results. Search engines rank pages showing the most relevant results up first. A search query is words a user types into the search engine. Okay, also search terms. So let's say you go to Etsy as a customer and you're looking for, a mug. What are you going to type in that search box? Are you going to type in a mug for mom or a pumpkin mug? Whatever you're typing in there, that's the search query. Keywords, I'm going to be talking about this a lot. These are words that appear on a page that search engines use to match your site with a user's search query. Etsy keywords are located in your tags, your titles, your description, your category, and your attributes. Okay? So let's talk just about Etsy search. The beginning of this presentation, we're going to talk about Etsy. And then at the end, we're going to talk about Google and how do you set up your shop and your listings so you can get found in Etsy search and Google search. Okay. So first, the keywords that you use in your titles, tags, categories, and attributes is what matches your listing with what the shopper is looking for. When there's a potential match, so that shopper has typed in some keywords that match exactly the keywords or phrases that you use in your listings, okay, that's what a good match is. Etsy search gathers all the listings that keywords that matches in shopper's query. Then they rank those listings so shoppers see the items that are most relevant. Use strong keywords in your listing to create an opportunity so your listings get found. And we'll talk about how to do this. Okay, so when somebody is searching on Etsy, when a buyer is searching, phase 1 is going to be query matching. This is when a customer enters in the search. Etsy then looks at all the inventory of those listings that include keywords that match. The goal is to gather all the listings that are relevant to that buyer. Then phase 2 is once Etsy has gathered all those listings that match the query, they rank the listings based on information about each listing and shop. The goal is to ensure people browsing on Etsy see the items they are most likely to purchase. Okay, because if you can't find what you want, within a couple pages, Etsy doesn't want that customer to leave Etsy and go to a different website. Okay. Let's see. If you can't see the slides, try to log out and then come back in if you can't see. But you should be able to see all these slides. If you've just joined us, please tell us where you're from. Don't feel like you have to take notes on every slide. I can set out a PDF copy at the end. Okay, so listen and just take some notes. Okay, so let's talk about phase 1. So phase 1 is all about query matching. When a buyer enters a search query on Etsy, the system looks at keywords you've added to your listing to find a match. So where do you put these keywords? You're going to put them in your titles, your tags, category and subcategories, your attributes, and now your listing descriptions. So for all of you Etsy sellers that have been on Etsy for a couple years, the query and the search algorithm never looked at our descriptions. Okay, it was all about our titles, all about our tags and our categories. Now, as of May this year, that Etsy query is also looking at our descriptions. It's kind of scanning for those keywords and phrases. Okay, this is something new. Titles. This is so important. The keywords in your title can help you match with a shopper's query. Focus on writing short, clear, descriptive titles that make it easy for a shopper to understand what you're selling. Listing titles should contain keywords in the form that are relevant with phrases. Lead with keywords that best describe your item. When crafting your title, try to emulate what a shopper would type. Okay, so it's really important that 4th paragraph says lead with keywords that best describes. So whatever phrase and keywords within that phrase best describes what that listing is should come first. Okay, then do a comma and go with other phrases. always put the most descriptive phrases in the front. Okay. Think of what your potential buyer is going to be typing in the search when they're looking to buy your item. Think like that buyer. Okay, so let's talk about this example. Here's an example of organic merino wool baby pants. Super cute. So this listing has a phrase that describes this item perfectly. Describes the material. This title is simple. It's a single phrase. Okay. It has all the 4 major selling points with simple phrase. Okay, so great title. So when we would look at this listing, notice how the listing title looks in the search results. Okay. A lot of these other sellers, this person's competition kind of uses the same type of phrases and terminology. This is why Etsy recommends front loading your listing titles with the most important details. While you have 140 characters available for your listing title, we recommend being strategic about what you include in the first 40 characters. So shoppers can easily understand what you're selling, okay, and be inclined to click. Okay. Yes, we are going to have a open Q&A session at the end. So those that just joined, I will be sending out a PDF version of this PowerPoint, so don't feel like you have to take notes. And those that want to stick around at the end, we'll have an open Q&A session. Okay. All right, let's look at another listing. So this title is longer. Beaded polymer clay dangle earrings, comma, handmade gift for her, comma, multiple colors. So this is an example of a longer multi-phrase title. This seller is doing a great job describing their earrings in clear terms. Okay, so let's talk about why this title is working. The title leads with an important and informative phrase. The phrases are clearly written and sound human, like what somebody would type. And it's separated by commas. Etsy has been telling sellers for a while now their search prefers commas. The way that the algorithm works, it's best to use commas. This listing also is highlighting that it's a gift idea. If you do this, just be sure to update your titles after the holiday to keep your shop looking fresh and up to date. So now's the time that people are starting to include some of these gifting keywords and phrases because it's holiday season. Maybe it's worth considering relocating the phrase polymer clay also to a listing tag and in the description. So because it's going to be, those are just really popular key words. Okay, so that would be one that this seller could definitely use in the title, use in the tag, and also have in their description. Okay. All right, let's go on. So good title here. If you can't see or can't hear, I recommend just closing this workshop out and then just re-uploading and joining again. It could be an IT thing. Okay, so tags. Tags are your opportunity to associate 13 descriptive keywords or phrases with your product. Each tag you add creates a unique opportunity to match with a shopper's query. The more keywords you add to your listings, the more opportunities to match what that buyer is looking for. Okay, so important to use all 13. A lot of sellers are also now kind of changing up their tags, putting some holiday ones in. Okay, I've started doing that in September is when I change all my listings to get more holiday ready. Okay, so let's look at this listing. This is a really nice like cloth napkin. And these are some ideas of the tags that this seller is using to kind of give you some ideas. You'll notice in the tags that they're all kind of phrases. It's not just one single keyword. Okay, they use multiple keywords in their tags. These are great tags. I love the tag that says gift under 30. So that means a gift under 30 bucks because people are shopping by price point. You know, maybe they're looking for a gift under 25 bucks or under 50. Great tag to use. All right, categories. Categories contain keywords that act like tags. So be sure to add the most specific option available. Adding more specific subcategories will give you more opportunities to match with a search. Okay. Attributes are extra details you can add about your listings after choosing a category. It's important to add all the relevant options. Okay. While you might use the word Magneta, it's to describe the yarn you're listing. If pink, magenta, to describe the yarn you're listing. If pink is more accurate, you should add it to the color attribute. Once you've added all these attributes, then to describe your item, you can use your listing description, title, tags to describe it in your own terms. If the attributes is something that's relevant for your listing, use it. If it's not, then don't feel like you don't have to use it. Okay, so here's our little cloth napkins again. This is how you add a category to a listing. You'll kind of type in what you're selling, and Etsy will automatically kind of pre-populate where the best category is. This only usually happens when you're listing a new item on your desktop. If you're doing it from a mobile phone, sometimes this won't work. Okay, so I mentioned that your listing descriptions are now being scanned by the Etsy algorithm for those keywords and phrases. So it's important to always use your descriptions to describe your item. But now the search is factoring in that search. Etsy search looks for keywords in the first few sentences of your description. So incorporate relevant keywords early in your listing description. Avoid copying your title verbatim or simply copying and pasting it. Do not do that. You want to craft a sentence or two that casually incorporates a few of your top keywords. Okay? Don't make it spammy. Okay, so let's kind of recap. For query matching, when a shopper enters a query, Etsy's looking at your titles, your tags, your categories and subcategories and attributes. Use all 13 tags. Use a variety of keywords and phrases in your titles and your tags. Briefly describe your item, first few sentences of your description. Add all relevant attributes. Categorize your item. Diversify your inventory or item variations. Experiment with different keywords based on seasonal trends. So usually like after these shops, I'll have a couple of people that will reach out and say, hey, can you look at this listing? It's just not selling. I know this item will do good. And always the first thing that I look at is the title. And I can usually tell pretty quickly right then and there if the title is describing your item or not. So spend the most time on your titles. Okay. Print out every listing that you have, or pick your top 10 listings that are like ready to go. Etsy calls it ship ready products for the holidays. Look at those titles. Really sit down, think about other phrases, keywords that can describe them. All right, so let's talk about ranking, how your listings will get ranked. So how does ranking work? Once Etsy has gathered all the listings that match a query, then they use that information about each listing and shop to rank the listings on the search results. What is the point of ranking? Well, to ensure the listings that a buyer is most likely to purchase. Okay. What factors into Etsy's search ranking? Relevancy, translation and language, your listing quality score, recency, customer and market experience, shipping price, and shopper habits. Real quick note, yes, there will be a recording of this session. You'll get an email about it that you can go back and watch. I see some questions coming in, so great. Keep doing those, and I will get to some questions here in a little bit. So these factors, all those bullet points, are really important to how your listing gets ranked, on page 1, page 2, page 3, where it shows up in that search. Okay. So let's talk about each one. Relevancy. When the keywords in your titles, tags, descriptions, categories match what that shopper is looking for, your listings then have a potential to appear in the search results. If those keywords are an exact match, your listings are going to be ranked higher. So this is why it's so important to take each of your listings and think about, if you were a buyer, what are you going to type in the search results to find your listing? Okay. Really think about that, buyer. If you're kind of lost for those keywords or phrases, a lot of times I'll just go to Google or Pinterest and kind of type in what I think would be other keywords or phrases used to describe my item, and also see what other words come up. Pinterest kind of shows you other popular keywords related to what you're typing in. It can kind of help jog your memory what other keywords are out there being used right now. Kind of like secret shopping. Go on Google and type in, what you're selling and see what else comes up. You're kind of secret shopping how other websites are using to describe that item. There may be a word or phrase that you're not familiar with. Okay. So relevancy and keywords. During query matching, your keywords are scanned for matches. Once the system has gathered all the eligible listings for that query, they then use information about each listing and shop to rank the listings. One important factor considered during ranking is relevancy, which means how close the match your keywords to what a buyer types in. Aim to use keywords that appeal to the target customers or those most likely to purchase from you. Think about the details that matter the most to them. Okay. So a listing quality score. Every listing has a quality score. When a buyer searches on Etsy, the goal is to help them find items they want to purchase. To do this, Etsy search looks at clues from shoppers to determine whether a listing is appealing and meets their expectations. So Etsy is going to look at how that listing converts. Conversion means how many people view it. So it's come up on the search results. How many people have scanned and they've seen it? Did they click on it? Okay, it's going to determine whether buyers are interested in it, which boosts that listing's quality score and placement. So if you have a listing that comes up in that query and somebody actually clicks on it, just views it, that Etsy search is logging that information that your listing got a click. Then, did your listing get like a favorite? Did somebody heart it? Okay? Did somebody add it to their cart? All of those little actions that buyers take on our listings affects our quality score. So I can usually pretty tell that I have a bunch of listings right now that are like on page 3 of my listings. Those are the ones that like haven't sold, in 90, 60 months. And I can just tell that their listing quality of score is bad because I'm not getting favorites on those. They're not getting views, and they're obviously not selling. So those are the listings that I need to look at my titles, look at my tags, look at my photos, and see, okay, those ones aren't getting any clicks, any favorites. So they're going to have a bad quality score right now because they're not getting any action, and obviously they're not selling. Okay. So this is what a quality score is. It's really important how your listing's going to convert with little actions. So recency, when a new listing is created, it gets a small temporary boost in search results so that the search can learn more about how buyers interact with it. A renewed listing, so after it sells and gets automatically renewed, they also get that small little boost because it sold. Somebody clicked on it, they added it to their cart, and then it sold. So it has a good conversion, a good quality score. It's going to get a boost because that's telling the Etsy search that, hey, this is an item that people will buy, right? Etsy wants to show listings that customers will buy. So a temporary boost can last anywhere from a few hours to a few days, depending on how often people are searching for that item. Okay. It doesn't matter if you're a new seller, an experienced seller, there's opportunities for all of us to kind of get our listings out there and sold. All depends on those key things: titles, tags, photos, how your listings are properly set up. Your customer and market experience is Etsy wants buyers to have a great experience when they shop. To do this, Etsy gives each shop a customer and market experience score, and that also factors how we rank in the placement. So getting good reviews, having complete shop policies, and adding an about section. This is so important. So please go check, make sure your policy, your shop policy section is complete. It's done. Make sure you have an about section. You've put in information about why you set up your Etsy shop. You put in your picture. You've listed your social media pages. You can add in also extra pictures from your shop, from your listings. Do your about section. That impacts your search ranking. If your shop is not fully complete and all you've done is you've gone in and you've set up the bare minimum and you've just started putting in listings, Etsy wants their customers to feel more confident that they're buying from a quality store and seller. So you got to take the time to actually put in your policies in your about section. I also check that kind of when I'm looking at shops. I can kind of check about section. Do not do any intellectual property because that will hurt you, the cases that open up against you. Okay, shipping price. Shipping price is one of the most important factors that Etsy buyers look at. It's just the day and age. Listings that ship for free or low cost to the United States get a priority in US search placement in the Etsy app. Digital download items are also eligible for priority search placement in the Etsy app because they don't have any shipping cost. Okay, so your digital items are getting that same kind of treatment. Let's see. Translations and language. When you set up your Etsy shop, choose a shop language. The titles and tag you add in your listing should be in the language you selected for your shop. Etsy is going to translate your keywords and so show shoppers results that match their query and language settings. So we have a lot of international sellers on here right now. Select your language. Etsy will convert that. If you sell to the United States and you say, yes, you accept orders from the US, they will convert your listings. So what we see. If you speak multiple languages, you can add your own translations to your listings. Translations you add yourself tend to be higher quality and sound more natural. Okay. Let's see, I saw a quick question come up. Should you update and change your about page every so often? You can. That it doesn't, as long as it's done and complete, that's only the main thing. The search algorithm is not looking at how many times you update the about section. That doesn't matter. As long as you have it complete, it's done, you kind of get that score. Okay. Shoppers' habits. Context-specific ranking technology learns what buyers are interested in to show them the items that they're most likely to purchase. Since Etsy search results are customized for each shopper, when you search on Etsy, you may not see what other buyers are seeing. This is so important because it always comes up. Sellers are like, I'm searching for my item and I can't see my item. I made that mistake too a couple years ago. I was like, I'm searching for mine and I don't see it. Well, yeah, because Etsy knows that that's me. They're not going to show me my own listings. So don't panic if you try to search for yours. Okay. Let's see. If I have some summer items, can I deactivate the listing and reactivate them next summer? Yes. A lot of sellers do that. I do that too. I deactivate, like all my summer, my Easter, all that holiday stuff that's not relevant yet has all been deactivated. Then once that time that year is coming up, then list it up there. Yeah, great question. Make sure, so like now you should have all your fall, Christmas, New Year's stuff up there because it's gifting season. Then once like November comes along, end of November, I'm going to start to list all of New Year's and Valentine's stuff. I try to do it that 30 to 60 days before in advance to get it up there. Okay. Because people will start adding stuff to their cart or favoring it and then go back to it and buy it. Okay. So that's why when you go to retail locations like now, they're already setting up Christmas trees. It's like we haven't even gotten through Halloween yet, but they know shoppers are kind of pre-shopping. Okay, so think of it in that same thing. Let's see, about choosing language. If I'm not fluent in English, is it preferable to use my native language even though I want to sell? Yes, use your native language. Put that in your settings. Use your native language in your title, your description, your tags. Etsy will convert that to English, okay, for those shoppers. Okay, let's see, ranking. There's a lot of good questions coming in. Keep doing them. I'll get to all of them at the end. So if I answer just a couple, but keep putting them in and I'll get to them. Okay, so ranking. Etsy uses the information they have about each listing and shop to rank listings in the search results to show shoppers what they're going to purchase. Have you noticed that they keep saying, show shoppers the items they are most likely to purchase? I think this is like the 5th time Etsy's mentioned it in the presentation. Listings that receive a lot of attention in the search may rank higher in the search results over time. Put simply, conversion rate can influence where a listing shows up in the search. So use your keywords that are relevant to your target customer. Write engaging and informative descriptions. Use engaging, click-worthy photos that describe and show your product off. Aim for great reviews. Offer quick processing times. So once again here, it's kind of repeated. Conversion rate influences where a listing shows up in the search results. If you have a listing that's not getting any views, not getting any favorites, it's time to change that listing, because it's never going to show up high in the search results. I will get to, in this presentation, we're going to talk about how to look at the stats. Okay, so that's to come. But I just want to make sure that everybody understands, if you have a listing that's not getting any favorites, not getting any clicks and views, okay, let's look at those titles. Let's look at those tags. How's your photos? Something is causing that buyer not to convert and not to buy your listing. So we just got to make some changes. Just got to make a couple tweaks. It's happened. It's okay. There's time to change it. Okay, search engine optimization, keywords. So let's talk about keywords. Let's see. Good question came up. Does the algorithm update each time you edit your listings? Yes. When you update your listings, change that title, change those keywords. Yes, it's going to get that small temporary boost because you've updated it and you've changed things. At the same time, though, I think it mentions in this presentation, Etsy has been very open that it does sometimes take up to 30 days for that algorithm and that search to kind of recognize the changes you've made and see if it actually is working or not. So if you go in and change your listings today, I make a note on my calendar, I changed these listings. Within 30 days, I'll go back and check. I had 50 views on this date. I changed it. 30 days from now, did my views or did my clicks change? Don't change it and then like 4 or 5 days from now, be like, nothing happened. It's not selling. Change it again. Give it 30 days. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about keywords. So brainstorm some ideas for your tags. Think about what makes your product unique. You might have to get creative and come up with phrases that are 20 characters or less. If the key phrase you want to target is longer than 20 characters, add multiple phrase tags. Containing those terms can still help you match in the search. Okay. Descriptive tags that clearly and accurately describe what your product is the great place to start. Okay, descriptive. Descriptive tags lets you describe the finer details of your product in your own words. Multi-word phrases are better than individual descriptive words. So remember when we were looking at those earrings and the title was beaded polymer clay dangle earrings. That's a nice multi-word phrase. Okay. They didn't type in polymer, comma, clay, comma, earrings, comma. They made a nice phrase. Okay, so some descriptive tags, 1920s cat brooch, reusable straw pouch, striped ceramic mug, set of 4 coasters. So same thing, titles, tags, think about nice multi-word phrases. Yeah, tags are limited to 20 characters. So you can kind of see in these example, try to use as many phrases as you can in that tag. Materials and techniques. You're the expert. Add tags that highlight how it's made or what's unique about it. If you sell personalized or custom items, be sure to add some tag phrases that contain those words. Some examples, custom embroidery, reclaimed wood frame, personalized tumbler. Okay. Think about who your listing and the item is for. Give shoppers who are shopping for a gift but need inspiration some ideas with tags that describe who a product might be great for. So I use a lot of tags that are like this: gifts for newlyweds, gifts for new moms, teacher gift. Okay. So like popular ones right now, gift for husband, gift for men, gift for teenager, gift for mom. Those are all really popular tags coming up for the holiday season. Okay. I see lots of really good questions coming up. I'm saving these and I'm going to get to these questions. So keep putting your questions in. Shopping occasions. Put yourself in the shoes of a shopper who's looking for a perfect gift to celebrate a milestone. So these are some other tags, examples. A tag could be first anniversary, christening gift, stocking stuffer, bachelorette party, animal themed party. Okay. All great tags if you have something that's like around an occasion. If your listing or your products are around a solution, maybe your product solved a problem, make life easier. Imagine how a shopper looking for a solution to their problem might search for it. So some other good tags: closet organization, workout headbands, a lunchbox decal, indoor garden, all really good key phrases. Style. A shopper's personal aesthetic informs their purchase decisions. We all want to feel like the things we buy showcase our great taste. Use tags that describe the unique style of your products. Think about the time period, the palette, for when you're using keywords and phrases. Art deco wallpaper, minimalistic ring, rustic wall decor, typographic print. These example of key phrases that Etsy is sharing with us here, they're sharing phrases that are showing high results in their system. So these key phrases right here are popular search phrases. Okay. Size. For some products, scale is very important. Try adding tags that describe the size and shape of your products to reach shoppers. Shallow basket, large beach bag, toddler pants, tiny gold hoops. Okay, so this slide I love. Take a picture of it with your phone. Make sure you save this one. This is slide 47 when you get the presentation. This one is really important. So some do's. Use all 13 tags. Use multi-word phrases. Do consult with your shop stats. Refresh the tags on listings that are getting less traffic and diversify the terms you're using. We're going to talk about stats, so stay tuned. Do consider synonyms and regional phrases. If shoppers use regional spellings like jewelry and how they spell it in their search, Etsy will show them listings tagged this way of spelling. Do target long tail keywords. Instead of trying to compete for popular generic searches, prioritize less popular phrases that describe what's really special about your products. Shoppers who know what they want to buy often use more specific searches, and you can deliver just what they are looking for. Don't repeat tags. Don't repeat categories and attributes. Don't include misspellings. Don't misspell keywords on purpose to reach shoppers who make a typo. Don't do that. Don't add tags in multiple languages. The titles and tags you add should be in the language of your shop. Choose one language. One language, stick with it and everything. Okay, don't use multiple languages. Don't worry about plurals either. When a shopper enters their query, Etsy is going to look at the root word for that phrase. Okay, don't worry about plurals. I love this slide. Okay, so this is what I kind of been talking about. Take a couple of your listings at the end, print them out so you can see, your title. You're going to see your tags at the bottom and some related items. Look at that description. I hand, write so that way I can kind of keep some really good notes about what I've changed. So this is a great workshop to do after today's class, in the next couple days. Okay, so pro tip, some tools for updating your titles and tags. When you're ready to give some of the techniques a try, here are a few ways that you can make quick changes. You can add or remove a tag from multiple listings at once by checking the box of those listings in your shop manager. Go to Shop Manager, click on Editing option, select Edit Tags from the drop-down list. You can also edit your titles and tags by using the Quick Edit tool, which lets you make updates without clicking each listing. So I just did this the other day for all of the US sellers. Yesterday, USPS, the Postal Service in the United States, increased all shipping prices from October 2nd now through the holidays. So priority mail, I think it went up like 80 cents for every package. Just that time of the year. So I went in, used the quick edit tool, and I updated my prices for everything. This is that time of year that I actually increased my prices. With shipping increases, I don't eat that fee. I charge that. So you can quickly, I was able to edit 80 listings, within 5 minutes by that quick edit tool and changed all my prices. All right, so let's talk about conversion. This is really important. How does Etsy determine your listing quality? Again, to determine a listing quality score, remember every listing has a score. Etsy looks at conversion metrics like clicks, favorites, purchases. Clicks, favorites, purchases. Etsy search also looks at the past shopper behavior to predict how likely shoppers are to purchase listings from your shop. So this is really important. If you sell vintage or one-of-a-kind items and are frequently creating new listings, your vintage cup or whatever you're selling only has one, don't feel like now your shop or that listing doesn't have a good opportunity. It's okay. So Etsy search looks at how popular listings from your shop have been in the past to predict the future. Okay, so if you sell everything as one of a kind, don't panic. Think about your shop in a whole. If you have 30 listings, how's the majority of your listings doing? Are they getting clicks? Are they getting favorites? And are you making sales? New shops and listings start with a neutral quality score, so we're all kind of neutral. When a new listing is created, it gets a small boost in search results. Do not, I've heard before other sellers say that every couple days they go in and update listings, change a picture just to get a small boost. Don't be changing, don't be playing, little games like that every once in a while, because then you're just gonna, if you're making too many changes, remember it takes sometimes 30 days for that algorithm to recognize and fully give those changes a chance. So if you're changing listings too often, that's going to confuse. Okay, so don't do that. Getting clicks from the search. The first step in increasing your conversion rate is getting shoppers to click on your listing. So when somebody is looking for, a vintage mug and, 30 show up, well, that goal is to get somebody to click on it. So before a buyer is going to make a purchase, they need to see your item. That first listing photo is so important, because we know when there 30 come up on the search results, for a vintage mug or a vintage necklace, it's all about that first picture, what we're going to click on. So that first picture is so important. It's got to be eye-catching. Get that buyer just to click on it. Getting a click is awesome. Then think about your listing title. Should be descriptive, easy to read. Price. Right? Pricing is really important right now. Compare prices. Do your research. Do your secret shopping. See what other prices are out there. Special offers. Can you make your listing stand out with a sale or a coupon? Shoppers can see your shop's review stars average when browsing. Okay. Once a shopper has clicked on your listing from the search, you have a chance to make a sale to increase your conversion and your listing quality score. Create great listings. Think about product photography, video, visual effects, descriptions. Make your descriptions easy to read. Put some bullet points in there. Don't write paragraphs like a novel. Think about that buyer. They're quickly, a lot of the times I could tell based on some of the questions I get, buyers are not even reading the description. So when they do read it, you want to capture their attention. If they see really long paragraphs, then they're definitely not going to read it. So keep it short, sweet, easy to read. Make sure your processing times are clear. Good processing times, helps you get sales, because somebody maybe they don't want to wait 1 to 2 weeks for that item. If that's what it takes, that's what it takes. If it's a custom item, then buyers understand with those custom items. Yeah, it's going to take some time. Shipping, fast and affordable shipping. Reviews, get good reviews. If you get a 4-star, don't panic. It happens. Okay, listing photos. Your first listing image gets you the click. That's what helps. Okay, get you the click. The number of photos you upload does not impact your item's search placement. So if you can't use all the photo spots, that's okay. Try to use as many as you can to showcase your item. Using all 10 listing photos may increase your conversion rate. Right. So it's not going to affect your placement, but it may affect your conversion, which means that once somebody clicks on it, if there's more pictures, that really showcase your item, the size, the color, how it's used, how it's made. That's going to make the buyer feel more confident in buying it. Okay. If you're selling art, buyers may want to see a photo of it styled in a room to get a sense of the size and style. Okay. All right, so let me see if this will play. I had a problem with this last time. Okay, I can't get this video to show, so we're going to move on from that. There is a really good photography class for Etsy U. It's awesome. So check the schedule and attend one of those photography classes because it's really good. Okay, descriptions. Your listing descriptions can also help convert views to sales. Etsy suggests keeping your description short and informative, but engaging. Okay. Processing time. Shoppers on Etsy are also looking for gifts. That they want it by a certain date. So what you put in that processing time may influence that buyer. Remember that you can offer upgrades so that they can get it faster if they want it. When you put in your processing time, if you say it takes 3 to 5 days to process an item, Etsy's going to calculate based on where you as a seller are located, the 3 to 5 days it takes to process, and then where that buyer is located to kind of give them an estimated arrival date. So they kind of know, okay, I'm going to get this item between October 7th and the 9th, based on the processing. Okay. Price and shipping cost. In addition to your item price, shoppers may factor in what you charge for shipping when deciding to whether or not to make a purchase. A shopper who loved your listing when they clicked on it from the search can be turned off if it's too expensive in shipping. Some sellers include shipping cost in their items, but it's up to you to decide how that pricing and how that shipping works out. Okay. Do a little test and kind of see. Customer experience. The Etsy algorithm looks at a shop's customer service history and whether it's in good standing. So it looks at a variety of factors to calculate your score. It's going to look at positive reviews, just your reviews, your about section, your policy section. Okay. And I also think that it's really important to how fast you respond to messages. But your customer experience score affects your listings and your shop and how you get ranked. So here it is again. I want to just point out that Etsy has mentioned that your about section and your shop policy section is very important. Okay. 2 easy ways to kind of boost your score really simply. Okay, so let's talk about Google. That was all of Etsy search. Now let's talk about if a buyer just goes to Google and they don't even go to Etsy. If they go to Google, how can your listing and your Etsy shop show up on Google to get that person on Google to come to Etsy? Okay. External search ranking. When a search is conducted on a search engine like Google, where you appear in the search is called your search ranking. Optimizing your listings for Etsy search is also going to help with your visibility on Google. So if you do everything we just talked about with your titles, your tags, using good phrases, using a good first photo, your about section, your policy section, all that's also going to help you on Google. Google considers these factors. Is it a unique and desirable product? Is it a product that's actually people are searching for and buying right now? So yeah, swimsuits and summer items are not a desirable product right now. keywords, listing description, shop title, shop sections, and inbound links. So these are some things that Google is kind of looking at that Etsy doesn't. Having a unique product. Offering something interesting and desirable is the first step to attract buyers. Take a look at the items in your shop and consider what makes them different from everyone else's. Can you communicate those unique qualities? Keywords. A critical step for improving your shop's SEO is to find the best possible words to describe your shop and listings. Think like a shopper. What words would you search when looking for your products in shop? I think this is like the 8th or 9th time it's been mentioned in the presentation, so really important. Here's a pro tip. Use Google Trends to research the popularity of keyword queries in Google search. Use this research to brainstorm keywords or even get ideas for new products, styles, contents. Great way to come up with new keywords and phrases around an item. Thumbnail photo. The first photo on your listing is the thumbnail photos. That's what people will see in the search. It is often a buyer's first impression of your brand. Your thumbnail photo works together with your title to grab a shopper's attention. Whether you photograph your items on a clean white background or in more of like an editorial lifestyle context, your first image should help shoppers imagine your item in their lives. Let's see, since I just mentioned seasons, a good question came up. Since different places have different seasons now, summer, winter, and we ship internationally, would it not be better to keep the listings active throughout the year? Yes, completely apologize. If you do ship internationally, then keeping all seasons open and available for your listings, absolutely. So thank you for mentioning that. Good point. Listing descriptions. Here we go again. Search engines look at the first 160 characters. Be sure to include enticing detail about your item, incorporate keywords, once again, that shoppers are looking for. Your description is important beyond the first 160 characters too. Search engines like Google look at a page full content. Your Etsy shop title. Your shop title is a bit of text that appears under the shop name on your shop homepage. It can be up to 55 characters. Your shop title will also become the page title of your shop page. This is the text a person sees in the search engine that links to your shop. Etsy recommends briefly describing your shop and the items you sell. Some sellers make a tagline or slogan. Consider including the full name of your business in your shop title if potential customers are likely to search for you. Just something to think about for those search engines like Google. Shop sections. How you name your shop sections can boost your shop's SEO for websites like Google. Each section has its own landing page within a page. Etsy uses your section name to create the page titles for each of your section landing pages. So this is where a lot of people will use shop sections for holidays. So they'll create a section that's all, Halloween, then Christmas, then Easter, Shop sections are also really important if you sell jewelry. So you have a bracelet, a necklace, earrings section. Same thing for all the digital items. If you sell digital items, separating them into categories and sections based on holidays or themes, like it's all your floral digital items, it's all your animal digital items. Use your shop sections. Okay, very, very important. Okay, inbound links. Search engines like to show results that are relevant and interesting, but gauging interestingness is a bit tricky for a computer. While we don't know exactly how search engine algorithms calculate what makes a page interesting, we know that the number and quality of inbound links to a page is important. Quality. You want people to be writing about your shop and listings online as linking to your Etsy pages. Okay, so bloggers, influencers. If you get an influencer to mention your item on social media or their blog, have them link to your Etsy shop. Okay? All those inbound links help with that ranking. Okay, so yeah, if you know some bloggers and some influencers out there, have them link to your Etsy shop. I have my own website too, and I found that when I was using bloggers and influencers and brand reps, I was having them go to my personal website. Well, my website, I don't have good stats. I couldn't tell where my traffic was coming from. Same thing for my Pinterest business page. I switched everything now to Etsy. So everything links to my Etsy shop. Just because I like the stats with Etsy, I can see exactly how much traffic comes because of my Pinterest page, how much traffic is coming because of social media. And it's just, I can get a better understanding where I should spend my time for marketing because of the Etsy stats. I sell on a lot of websites, and I love my Etsy shop. That's why I put 90% of my effort and my time, because I can see the results. It's also the cheapest. There's a lot of other great websites out there, but they charge a lot of money to sell on their shop. Okay, so use those stats. What should we be avoiding? Do not stuff your titles and descriptions with large blocks of text, loaded. Okay, that's just spamming. Write your original content. Don't use watermarks or all caps, special characters. I know all the digital sellers out there. Yeah, you got to use watermarks on those items to protect them. For everybody else, don't do it. Don't use special little funky characters. Don't just focus on the search sites. Think about how your brand will be found on sites like YouTube and Facebook. Don't take users to a dead end. Fix any dead links in your listings or shop. Okay, so this is a great point. If you use a business Pinterest page, every single pin, I was using a listing. I was taking that exact listing link and using it on the pin. But then I found that I was having pins on Pinterest that were really popular, but then my item sold out. So people were going to Pinterest, seeing this awesome pin, clicking on it and wanting to go to my Etsy shop in that listing, but then it was sold out and it was taken down. I took it down, and so now they went nowhere. So now on my pins and a lot of my social media, I just use my Etsy shop link. So etsy.com/shop/partying with plants. I just send them to my main page. That way they're going to find they're going to find what they want on there instead of accidentally sending them to a listing that's no longer available, sold out, and then I'm just losing that customer. Okay. I need to do a Pinterest class. I have a Pinterest business page that is amazing results. That you'll get a lot of traffic. That's the best social media site that I have found. I don't use Facebook or Instagram anymore. So yes, I need to start working on one because Pinterest is just amazing. Okay, let's talk about your stats and how to measure performance. Okay, stats. Don't be overwhelmed when you look at your stats. Stats make it easy to understand how things are performing. Don't panic though and say like, oh my gosh, I need to change everything. Really look at what keywords are driving the most traffic to your listings. Okay. Consider why your top performing listings are your top performers. What keywords are you using? What types of photos? Maybe it's your price and your description. So look at your best sellers, kind of print them out. Okay, and let's look and see, why is this doing so well? How can I make other listings do just as great as this one? Okay, so here is kind of an example of how your stats is going to look. It tells you your visits, tells you your orders, your conversion rates, and your revenue. This shop says visits increased 27% compared to the same period last year. You can then click on each thing. You can click on visits, you can click on orders, you can click on conversion and get like a deeper dive. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of you are talking about Pinterest. Yeah, setting up a Pinterest business page is completely different than just kind of going on there and being a Pinterest user. So yeah, stay tuned. I'll talk with Etsy U and see if they'll let me do a Pinterest class. Because it's fun, it's easy, it's a great website to use. Okay, so this tells you how, when you look at your stats, it tells you how customers found you from the app, from other sellers, other Etsy pages, from the search. Etsy marketing and SEO. Is Etsy marketing your listing? Did they post your listing on Google or Facebook? Okay. Other direct traffic. Did you bring shoppers to your page? Did you do like an email blast or send somebody your link? Social media and advertising. Okay, so when you want to look at how shoppers viewed your listings, when you click on that option, it's going to break down, and this is awesome. It shows you your listing and how many views, how many favorites, how many orders you got. So this is what is so awesome. That way you can tell if a listing's converting or not. You could tell if you're getting clicks. Clicks are your views. Then you can look and see, are you getting favorites? Okay. This is a really good way to kind of check out what listings are doing good versus ones that are not. Let's see, a good question came up. Are we allowed to send shoppers an email telling them we are running a Christmas sale? If you have a list of other shoppers that have shopped with you at craft fairs or other things, and you're running a Christmas sale, yes, you can't email previous Etsy shoppers. You can't do that, but you can run an Etsy sale. So go into your marketing, run a sale, offer a coupon, then Etsy will automatically notify your previous buyers, hey, this shop is having a sale. This shop has a coupon. So let's say that you have, let's say this floral sack cloth napkins. It has a lot of views. It has a lot of favorites. So 59 people have favorited this cloth napkin. Let's say this seller wants to put a sale or a coupon on this. If they run a sale on this cloth napkin, then it's going to notify people that have favorited that this item they have favorited is on sale. Okay. So Etsy will do that for you. They're automatically going to be notifying your past customers, maybe with if you want a thank you coupon, people that have favorited your item, if it's on sale or not. Okay. Another thing I want to make sure I mention, that if somebody favorites your item and you have it on your phone where it like notifies you, like so-and-so just favorited your shop, do not go into that. So this lady just favorited my shop about an hour ago. I am not allowed to click on her and send her a message that says, hey, thanks for favoriting my shop. Please come back and buy it. Here's a coupon. That is spamming. You will get an email from Etsy telling you you are not allowed to do that. Okay. If somebody is favoriting your item, just make a mental note. This listing has favorited. It's good. It's got a view. It's got a click. Don't start spamming customers. Okay. Don't do that. Do you need a certain amount of products in your store to show up in Etsy search? No. If you only have 5 products, that's fine. That doesn't matter on how many listings you have. It matters the quality of each listing. So if you only have 5 products, make those titles, those tags, those photos awesome. And you're just as competitive as somebody like me that has 80 listings. Okay. It's just the quality. One thing too that we're almost towards the end here that I'll do is I'll duplicate listings. So I'll take, let's say I sell in a cup. I'm going to duplicate this cup. If I can make more than one of these cups and sell 20 of them, I'm going to duplicate it and put it in different categories. So like if you look at my shop, I sell little like plant kits. So my little kits you can buy as a birthday gift, comes with a birthday card. Okay. Or you can buy it as like a craft kit. Or you can buy it as a Christmas with a Christmas card. So a lot of the times I'll take a listing and duplicate it within different categories. I'll put different photos with it, use a different title and tag, but it's really just the same item I'm selling multiple times in different categories. So think about that. You can kind of look at my shop and kind of see the example of you'll see duplications. And you'll see like photos are different, but they all kind of look the same. You can duplicate your listings if you have enough inventory. All of us old-time sellers, they used to tell us not to duplicate, but you can. People that sell socks, a lot. I see that a lot. They're duplicating all their socks. Scarves, they're listing it in multiple different categories in different ways. Packaging it like a gift. Okay. Experiment and adjust. Your search optimization strategy shouldn't be set it and forget it. Same thing, like you can't just list everything on Etsy and think now because you have an Etsy shop that you're going to be a millionaire. You need to promote your shop. You need to do some social media. You need to do your research. Always look at your stats on a regular basis to see what listings could be bringing your shop more traffic. The start of a new season. Okay, good. Etsy mentions it here. It's best to I thought they did give your update. You make about 30 days before deciding whether it is impactful. Additionally, measuring or comparing performance looking at 30 days worth of data gives you a good kind of broad aspect. Okay. I'll duplicate listings sometimes and just use like a couple different phrases in the title and a couple different pictures. And then after 30 days, kind of go back and see which one worked better. And say, okay, this title and these photos worked. Then I'm going to put that one that worked, put an ad on it, put a little bit of marketing money on it to promote it. And then that other one that I duplicated that didn't do that well, maybe I'll leave it up or maybe I'll just take it down. Okay. I did that a lot in the beginning, kind of to figure out when I was opening my shop, what pictures worked, what keywords and phrases. And I still kind of do that when I'm listing new things or trying out. I'll kind of experiment with duplicating listings. Do your suggestions work about duplicate work with one of a kind? Yes. So, okay, let's say you have one of a kind of, something vintage that's just one of a kind. If you want to duplicate that and try it, you can. But as soon as it sells over here, then go in and take down that duplicated listing, right away. Chances of it selling, twice within, the first day is not going to be that high, but at least you can, try duplicating it with different words. So yeah, even if it's one of a kind, try it and then just make sure that you mentally know, okay, if this item sells, I need to go take that duplicate listing down. Okay, stay in the loop. I love the Etsy success page on Instagram and Facebook. Etsy success page is just for sellers. It's the Etsy marketing team who is sharing tips with the sellers to kind of keep us informed. I always use the example that during the pandemic, the Etsy success page made a post and was telling sellers that they were seeing a trend with the phrase sunshine gifts. They said, hey, sellers, sunshine gifts is a trending phrase right now on Etsy. I was like, wow, sunshine gifts. I would have never thought of that phrase, but that actually applied to a couple of my listings, made a great sunshine gift, lifted somebody's day. So I went in because Etsy Success told us that that was a phrase that was trending and added it as a tag in some of my listings. So the success page does a great job keeping us sellers kind of informed on what's coming, what's going on. The podcast is great too. I'll listen to that podcast while I'm making orders or just driving. The Etsy teams are groups run by members where you can kind of interact, ask questions, connect with people in your area. Etsy Forums is a place for members of the Etsy seller community to gather and discuss a wide variety of topics. I tend to use the teams and the forums page within Etsy to connect with other sellers and ask questions, make friends versus like the Etsy Facebook pages, because I just find that those are just so negative sometimes. Everybody's just complaining that they don't have orders or their shop's not doing good, instead of actually getting some good tips and advice. There are a lot of Etsy U workshops coming up. I don't have a next one coming up just yet, but watch the page. All of us Etsy sellers are going to be teaching like some holiday classes. We're going to share tips and trends for this holiday season. The photography class is great. There is a social media class that talks about all social media, does touch on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. It mentions Pinterest. There's a class about getting started on Etsy. That's great. It kind of goes off fees and pricing. So there's lots of really good Etsy U classes. Okay, so a couple things. I am going to put in the chat my email address. If you want this presentation in a PDF format, I will send it to you in a PDF so you can have it because it has so much good information. Just email me and ask for the presentation. Now it's going to be some Q&A time. So I'm going to try to go through your questions and answer the questions that came up. You should get an email from Etsy at the end of this presentation. It's going, they should give you access to this video, ask you for a review about me. And if you email me, I'll also share my YouTube channel because Etsy U was having us do classes on YouTube. So I do have some of these past Etsy U classes on YouTube. You can go in and watch them there too. Okay, so I'm going to try to get to some of these questions on the general. So thank you for those that came. If you've got to go, that's fine. No problem. You don't have to stay on. I just put my email address in the chat. So scroll up just a little bit. I'll put it in here again. So you have it. Oh, I apologize for my funky location today. We had a gas leak at my warehouse, so I had to be working from home today. So usually I show you my cool Etsy warehouse. So sorry for the odd situation. Okay, let's get to some questions. Thank you so much for those that came in and all our international friends. Is it necessary to repeat same keywords and title, tags, and description? Remember, no, you don't want to repeat all the keywords all the time. Think of different keywords and phrases. But you're gonna repeat some. You know, it's just how it is. You're just gonna have some that you just repeat. Okay, let's see what else. Other questions here. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Oh, TikTok. Nice. Don't have an experience with TikTok. Do you need a certain amount of, okay, I answered that one. Okay, let me go up to top. Any ideas for shop sections for planner or printables? Separated just by themes, colors, maybe design. Do your secret shopping. You know, look at other Etsy shops that are, you know, star sellers, have good sales. Look at those and see, you know, what are they kind of using? And, you know, look at other businesses and kind of do your secret shopping. Okay, let me go up a little bit. Category. For vintage items, is it worth it to put the word vintage in the title? Yeah, because it's irrelevant, repetitive because of the part of the category. So yes and no. You know, I see a lot of sellers will use the word vintage once. Don't repeat vintage multiple times. Vintage mug, vintage glass cup. You know, don't repeat that multiple times. If you want to use it once, you know, that's okay. Yeah, the category and subcategory is going to help you in that. A lot of times shoppers, though, they do still use that word vintage when they're looking for something vintage related. The word handmade, that's not really relevant. You don't need to use handmade, because buyers know when they come to Etsy, they're looking for something handmade. They're looking for something unique. So that one, just, you don't have to use that. Okay. So here's a good one. Should we be cautious on using Christmas in listings, and do shoppers prefer holiday as opposed to Christmas, which is more acceptable? That's a great thing to kind of test. That's weird, because if you have something that is specific Christmas, maybe you duplicate that one and you try it with two different terminology. I kind of use both. I'll use holiday and I'll use Christmas kind of in the title and tags and change it up. People are still searching Christmas. It is one of those trending words. When you look at trending keywords, Etsy in July sent out the holiday trend report, and Christmas was still one of those popular words. But yeah, you can kind of change it up and use both. Could a low conversion rate or attention to a listing be the fault of an oversaturated category? Yeah, there are some categories that, are definitely oversaturated. So that could be definitely a result. Also too, like, think of the season. So, like right now, people are looking for more gifty items. So, maybe decorating their office, buying artwork is not going to be a category that's going to be trending that much right now compared to other categories. So don't panic. Yeah, if you see a low conversion, that can be no fault of your listing. It's just it's not selling right now very well. During the pandemic, artwork was selling. Oh my gosh, it was selling awesome because people were home. They were redecorating their office, or they were making an office. They were buying stuff so that way when they were on virtual calls, it looked good. So yeah, everything kind of has an up and down period. Let's see, some of these questions I've answered. Should we be searching for popular keyword combinations to get exact matches? If so, how do we find them? Yeah, that goes back to the secret shopping. Go into Google, go into Pinterest, go into Etsy and search for some keyword combinations and see what comes up. Usually that drop-down menu, especially in Pinterest, will show you trending keywords and phrases based on what you just typed in. It'll bring down a drop-down menu and show you what's trending. How do you know exactly what needs to change in order to get people to buy your items? I keep getting clicks and favorites, but not too many buys. Okay, if you're getting clicks and favorites, that means your title, your tag, and that first photo is great. You've done awesome there. If you're not getting people to put it in their cart and buy it, something then is wrong with the remaining of your photos. So those 9 other photos are not convincing that buyer to buy it. It could be your price. It could be, I would look at price and photos. Something is capturing their attention, but then making them not buy it. So look at that. You're doing an awesome job with your title and your tag in that first photo. What's going on with the rest of your photos? Some things that, if you're having a hard time um, thinking of all 10 photos, I'm going to see if I can show you one of my listings that does really well. Discard. So I have a listing that, so if I get a good review, um, if somebody leaves me an awesome 5-star review and types, a really nice review, I'm going to take a screenshot of that review and then use that as one of my photos to showcase, what a great review it is. Let me see if I can show you this listing. Okay, let me change I'm going to give you an example. Oops. Stop sharing. I'm going to show you a listing. Okay, so here is one of my listings. First photo, they look at this, they go through the photos. Okay, it's showing what the product is. Nice. How it's packaged for the holidays is really important way to show for photos. You get all the way to the end, boom. This is a photo of a good review that I got in 2020. So even though a buyer can scroll down and see reviews, when they're looking on their mobile phone, it's different. So I want them, because buyers look at all the photos. So I use the photos as a way to also share information about the listings. A lot of sellers do that. So I'll use this good listing review as one of my photos. You can give other directions. Create a image like this through Canva to show some other cool things about what you offer, because buyers look at the photos. So use the photos to also highlight and share some important information about why they should buy from you. Okay, so that's just kind of an example. Okay. Do we need to ask permission to use review photos and listings? Nope, it's public information. You can, for that one, I should have went out and I should have blacked out the person's name. But no, it's public information. If I use one link at the bottom of the description, what should it best be linked to? Okay, so a lot of sellers will, in their description, actually link to another item that's related, or another size, or back to your Etsy shop. You can do that in your description. Don't list too many links. But yeah, absolutely you can. What software do you suggest to find trendy keywords related to our products on Etsy? After you look at the stats from your Etsy page to see what keywords are working or not, then go to, some people use like eRank. But if you're looking for trendy keywords right now, just go to Pinterest or go to Google and type in and see what comes up that's trendy and related. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to, photos with models, yay or nay? I don't see that many. If it helps show off the size of your item, yes, use a model. But just, it's all about the quality. If you use a model, make that photo good quality. It shows off how the item is being used, the size. Absolutely. Is it hurtful to move products to holiday Christmas shop section and then move them to another shop after Christmas? Absolutely no. You can move items in and out of sections as much as you want. Shop sections is just what Google is looking at when they're doing that search. So no, absolutely, you can move things around. Where can we see our listing quality score? You're not going to be able to see like a score per se. It's not going to tell you like a score. That's why you want to look at the shop section. The shop stats, and look at, you can tell based on your views, your clicks, your favorites, what's performing well, what keywords are performing well, and what is not. Okay, that's how you're going to get an idea of what listings have a good score and what listings don't. Okay. How long does it take for a new seller to grow on Etsy? Good question. It really depends. For me, my first couple months, I had like 5 orders. With my first year, I think it was 10 months was my first year, because I started in February. My first year, I had less than 50 orders. I was just kind of figuring out what was working, what wasn't. Then by year 2, it grew to over 200 orders. It takes time to figure out what your listings and what sells and what doesn't sell. So some new sellers will join, and they from right away, they do well. If they've got good listing titles or selling a product that actually people want. So, every product, everything is different, but there's definitely the opportunity. I'm afraid to update keywords on a listing because I'm getting sales just very slowly. Is it okay to update the keywords, or should I wait until the ranking goes down? Great question. I struggle with that too. If a listing is selling, you get kind of nervous, like you're going to make a change and then it's not going to sell. So maybe change like one keyword or one phrase and see if it makes a difference. And then, print that listing out and write down, October 3rd, I added this. Wait 30 days, see if it changes. If it affects your sales and it hurts your sales, then go back. But yeah, if you're having something that's selling, don't change a lot. Maybe just change a tag, add in a holiday tag to it. Etsy Rank gives scores on listings. So yeah, if you use Etsy Rank, maybe check that out. I don't use that. I've never used that, but thank you, Anne, for sharing. Is it better with Etsy ads to advertise all listings or just a few? Great question. Okay, so Etsy ads, be cautious on, it depends on how many listings you have. So I think I have my ad is only $1 a day is what I'm spending. And out of the 80 plus listings, I'm only advertising, I think 8 listings, just my 8 top best sellers. I don't want to list my whole shop because I want to focus more on what's my best sellers. I'm putting more money towards those being found more. So yeah, pick just a few listings, the ones that are ship ready, the ones that it's an item that is being searched for right now. People are looking to buy this item. It's ready to go. It has some good views. It has some good clicks. Then yeah, put your ad towards that listing. And you don't want to just advertise your whole shop. And then the same thing, every 30 days, kind of go back and look at your ad and see what was doing well and what wasn't. I could tell I'm starting to get favorites now for some, people that are shopping for the holidays and kind of pre-shopping. Do you recommend a longer description that gives a detailed description and repeats your shop policies and shipping in a short or a shorter description? I don't put my policies or shipping in any of the description. I keep the description short and sweet. It describes, it's detailed, tells the size, color, what the item is, gives detailed about what it is. I don't list any of the policies in the description. That's something that the buyer can find when they scroll down if they need that. Keep those descriptions nice and short and sweet. Great. Can we sell Diwali festive items on Etsy? What are your views? I don't know around that. I'm sorry, I haven't seen anything I would look at the seller handbook to see, Etsy has gone through and, some things we're not allowed to sell anymore based on laws. Um, for plant people, all of us plant sellers, there was some plants just last month or in September that Etsy took down and they say they're illegal plants. We're not allowed to ship them. So look at the handbook and kind of see what you can and cannot sell. What's your predictions on the forecast for this year's holiday season? Are you anxious? Any tips? Yeah, I am kind of nervous because the last two holidays were awesome because so many people were buying online. Now I can tell you personally, my shop, I have seen a decrease in orders. I think everybody worldwide, we're kind of watching what we're spending, how much we're spending. So yeah, it has affected my business. I am kind of nervous for the holiday season, but I'm just gonna put good listings out there. Um, I'm gonna go back through in July when Etsy sent out the seller holiday report for this holiday. They're telling in that report, it tells you what categories are doing well, what is selling in each category. So I'm going to go back through that again and look and see. If you email me, I'll send you that report. So you can just have a quick link. Go in there and look and see what Etsy is saying is trending to sell. And so if you have those items that Etsy says is going to projected to do well, have those items ready. So another thing too for the holiday, make sure your processing times are accurate. If it takes you 1 to 2 days to process an order, you have to get them processed out within that. I made the mistake of 2 years ago. I said my processing time was 1 to 2 days. Or by day 3 or 4, I couldn't keep up with orders. I had overdue orders. I want to say like after I had so many overdue orders, it was like maybe 10. Etsy actually put my shop on vacation. And I got an email saying that I had to get caught up on overdue orders until they put my shop back open. It was my fault. I was behind. I wasn't accurately telling processing times. I had overdue orders. I should have went in, updated my policy and said it's going to take 3 to 4 days now because I hurt myself. My shop got shut down for a couple of days until I got it back up. So now I'm really cautious about that. Same thing for like vacation time. When I need time off, instead of actually putting my shop on vacation, because it takes your shop off, like you can't even come up in the search. Now I'll go in and just say my processing time takes 5 to 7 days. That way I'm still getting orders. I'm still getting some money. And I'm not losing all my good search. My item is still getting found. It's not going to get lost. Then as soon as I'm ready again and I'm done with my trip or my holiday, I'll then change my processing time, back to fast. So I really never use vacation mode. Okay. I'll change my processing time. This is the first time I've done it this year. And it worked out really well. Can you please suggest some demand products for the upcoming festive season? There are so many products that are good demand. I'll send out the report. But things that always sell good are like, mugs, things that are gifty. Jewelry that is packaged really well right now sells great. There are a lot of good holiday things. Yeah, it totally depends on what you sell. Yeah, there's some sellers that are doing awesome and some that are really struggling. It's just like when the face masks, everybody that sold those did amazing. The craft kits, people were buying crafty items. Yeah, it all depends what you sell, and kind of changing up your inventory if you can. All right, y'all. This has been awesome. A lot of good questions. I am going to put my email in here again. You can email me if you want the presentation in the PDF copy. I'll send you the link to the Etsy's 2022 holiday report so you can read that report. Stay tuned. I'm going to have an Etsy U holiday workshop coming up, probably the end of the month. And if I didn't get to your question, you can email me too. Please give me until tomorrow to respond to emails. I got to go do some orders. This was awesome. We had over 200 people in attendance today. So many international friends out there. Thank you. Thank you. Let's support each other. When you're doing your holiday shopping this year, shop on Etsy. Support another seller out there. Connect. I loved seeing people connect on here. If you have success or you made a sale or you made 5 sales, email me. I love hearing good stories. If you are losing your mind and thinking about closing your shop, email me. Do not do it. Stay positive. Keep working hard. Thank you so much for coming today. I really appreciate it. It was so nice to virtually meet all of you. Have a great day. I'll be in touch. Thank you.